Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to the 1985 playoffs in season ticket baseball. If you're surprised to see me on this early, don't feel bad. I'm surprised to be on this early. Normally this is my group game day where I'd be playing Arkham Horror the card game with my Sunday group. You guys have seen them before on Mystical Munchies. But we got a little bit of snow down here, and neither one of them, and nobody wanted to drive. So I told them all to play it safe, and we'd see each other in a couple weeks. Anyway, we are at the Astrodome today. We're going to take advantage of this and have a double header in this replay. We are having Game 2 of the National League Championship Series between the Montreal Expos and the Houston Astros. Thanks to a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth inning, the Astros lead this series 1-0. But there is a lot of baseball left to be played. So, fans are filing into the Astrodome for this one. And we are all set, so let's jump right into the action. Starting pitcher for the Houston Astros tonight is their number 2 starter, Mike Scott. 18-8 with a 3.29 ERA. 221 2/3 innings pitched. 137 strikeouts. Let me bring that centered just a touch. 137 strikeouts, 80 walks, 20 home runs in 85. He will be the batter. He will be the late starting pitcher for the Astros tonight. While the rest of the Astros get loose behind Scott, we're expecting an absolutely electric crowd today. We will take our first look at the Expos starting lineup. Leading off, we've got Herm Winningham in center field. Hubie Brooks is at shortstop. Tim Raines is in left field. Vance Law... Scorebook's right. I had it lined up wrong. Vance Law is at second base. Yoel Washington is at third base. Andre Dawson is in right field. Mike Fitzgerald's catching. Razor Shines is at first base. And the starting pitcher with the pitcher batting card is Bill Gullickson. And that's the lineup the Astros will have to keep in check if they want to take a 2-0 series lead to Montreal tomorrow night. Leading off for the Expos today is Herm Winningham, the center fielder. 237 average, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs in 85. We are using orange, white, and blue dice today. Astros are the home team. Game 2 of this NLCS. Astros lead the series 1-0, but they needed a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth to win Game 1. Can the Expos even the series? Only the dice know, and in order to find out what the dice know, we have to go to the first pitch, so here we go. And we will get started off with a 5.06. That'll give us a rare play right off the bat. That is a 6.36. And a 6.36 says, weak chopper in front of home plate. Batter contacts the ball after leaving the batter's box and is ruled out for interference. So we're going to call that a G2, I guess. I don't know if Digital Diamond lets me enter interference. 1 out in the inning, and we are underway here at the Astrodome. Hubie Brooks, now the batter for the Expos. 269 average, 13 home runs, 100 RBIs in 85. He will be the batter. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 132. That'll turn into a 332 and be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that for the Astros is going to be Mumphrey. He will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Tim Raines now takes his first turn at the plate. 320 average, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs in 85. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 561. That's over to shortstop. Going after that is going to be Reynolds, and that'll be a nice, easy grounder right to Reynolds. He will take his time, move that over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Expos here in the top of the first. Score at the Astrodome after half an inning is Montreal 0, Houston coming to bat. Starting pitcher for the Montreal Expos is their number 2 starter, Bill Gullickson. 14-12 with a 3.52 ERA. 181 and a third innings pitched, 68 strikeouts, 47 walks, 8 home runs, and 85. And as the Expos get loose behind Gullickson, we will take our first look at the Astros starting lineup. Leading off, we've got Denny Walling at third base. Kevin Bass is in center field. Bill Duran is at second base. Jose Cruz is in left field. Alan Ashby's catching. Jerry Mumphrey's in right field. Craig Reynolds is at shortstop. Harry Spillman is at first base. And starting pitcher is Mike Scott. He's got a pitcher batting card. That's the lineup the Expos have to hold in check if they want to get this series back to Montreal, knotted at 1. Leading off for the Astros today is Denny Walling. 270 average, 7 home runs, 45 RBIs, and 85. And I will see you guys as usual at the top of the second. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 296, and 296, Walling's into one that's deep to left field. Walling with a power of a 6. Do the Astros strike first here in the bottom of the first? The Astros will strike first with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to left field. Going back for that one for the Expos is Raines. He's back to the track, back to the wall. That ball is gone. Home run, Denny Walling. Astros draw first blood today. Houston leads 1-0. Stadium cheers. Yay! Kevin Bass, now the batter. 269 average, 16 home runs, 68 RBIs, and 85. Gullickson knows he's got to have instant amnesia from that one. He will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 322, and a 322 is going to get lifted into center field. Winningham will get under that one from Montreal. He will make the catch, 1 out in the inning. Oop. I need to adjust the batting token. I also need to check on the camera just to make sure it didn't freeze on me, which has got a habit of doing. There we are. As ID Jester now joins us here at the Astrodome. As you show up, there's another home run, like immediately. Sure seems like it. I'm sure Montreal wishes he would have shown up a little earlier, but glad to have you here at any rate. Bill Duran, now the batter for the Astros. 287 average, 14 home runs, 59 RBIs, and 85. As I explained earlier, Jester, normally this would be my Sunday group game day, where I'm playing Arkham Horror, the card game, with my Sunday group. But because of a little bit of snow, game day kind of fell apart. So that's what I'm doing online now. We're going to try to get a doubleheader in today. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 545. That's over to second base, where Law is waiting for that one. And it'll be a ground ball right over to Law. He will take his time, move that over to first. 2 outs in the inning. Jose Cruz will now step in the batter's box. 300 average, 9 home runs, 79 RBIs, and 85. And he actually had a home run in game 1 of this series. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 369. And this time it's going to be a fly ball into right field. Dawson on his horse. He will track that one down, make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit, a solo bomb by Denny Walling to lead off the game. Houston has a 1-0 lead after 1. And, oh, never mind, camera's good. Looked like it had frozen for a second on me, but nope. That's what the hand check is for. Scott finishes up his warm-up tosses as stepping into the batter's box now is Vance Law. 266 average, 10 home runs, 52 RBIs in 85. Scott will look in at Ashby for the sign. He will set, here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 168, and a 168 is going to be a leadoff walk for Law. He will trot to first as Scott loses control of a slider. That'll be ball four getting wide of the plate. Infield will go to double play depth as UL Washington is now the batter. 249 average, 1 home run, 17 RBIs in 85. Law, could he try to steal here? Or a hit and run, possibly. Let's have Law. We're going to actually have Washington do a hit and run. That's how we're going to handle this. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 309, and that's going to be batter misses. So Law's got to try to steal without a lead. He's throwing into an arm of a 4, so he's got to beat a 14 with a speed of 2 to second base. And here comes the throw from Ashby, and Law's going to get in there. The throw's high. The throw's on target. Here's the tag. Law just gets under it. He'll be safe at second on the stolen base. Stadium groans. Ugh. 2 strikes on Washington, but that will take away the double play. Hit and run's going to be also called off. We will roll normally. That is a 540. That's over to second base where Duran is going to get that one. He will have no problem with that one. He'll move that over to first. For out number 1, Law will go over to third. Infield is now going to play in for the Astros. Batter now is Andre Dawson. 255 average, 25 home runs, 91 RBIs in 85. Checking on Law with a speed of 2. Let's see, 2, 3, 3. Spillman is at first, 0. Law is going to go on contact and try to get this game tied. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He knows Dawson has got a lot of power. Scott will set, and he will pitch. That is a 630. And a 630 is going to get popped up on the infield to shortstop. Calling everybody off in the infield grass is Reynolds. He will make the play, and that is out number 2. Two outs for the Expos, and Mike Fitzgerald is now the batter. 207 average, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs in 85. Scott trying to protect this 1-0 lead. He will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 530. That's over to first base Spillman, and that'll be a ground ball right to him. He will take it. He'll wave off Scott coming over, take that to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Hit and a walk, a stolen base, but the Expos can't get the run across. Score is still 1-0 Astros heading into the bottom of the second. Stadium size. Phew! Indeed, a very scary situation if you're an Astros. Hold it. Hold on, I gotta back up here. The Expos didn't score in the inning unless I marked something as a scoring from third. He didn't get to third on that. Law didn't get to third somehow, did he? Because Dawson grounded out. He didn't single. Law advances to third. That's where he got stranded. While Digital Diamond... Let me just wait. Let me just do my camera check. Okay, everything's good there. Oh, I forgot to enter the G6R3H. Actually, hold it. I do need to back up. Because Dawson was going on contact. Hold it. I do need to back up here. I just realized something was wrong. So Law was at third base. Law was at third base. Dawson was at the plate. Infield was in. So yeah, I had a little bit of a mishap here. So there was 1 out in the inning at this point. Infield was in. Law was going on contact. I forgot to roll for that. So that was hit to shortstop. Reynolds with an arm of a 3. The throw is coming to the plate. And Law comes in. He will easily beat the throw to the plate, and this game is tied. So never mind. We are tied at 1. I was just being an idiot. So Law scores. Game is tied at 1. Dawson is now at first. Stadium groans. Ugh. And we're back to 1 out in the inning. So yes, I did have to back up a bit once I realized something was wrong. Okay, let's run that back here. So the inning is actually not over yet. My apologies on that. Once I realized something was wrong, I had to back up and fix it. So now Mike Fitzgerald is the batter for the Expos. 207 average, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs, and 85. Infield is at double play depth. Fitzgerald's got decent power. He's going to swing away. Tied at 1 here in the top of the second. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. 224 against a righty. That'll be a ground ball over to second. Picking that one up is going to be Duran. He will throw that over to Reynolds. That'll get Dawson. Reynolds will make the throw over to first. Relays in time. That is a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Stadium cheers. Yay! So we do get to the same place, but the Expos do tie the game on a walk, a stolen base, and a hit by Dawson. We are tied at 1 heading into the bottom of the second, now that I've got that sorted out. Good thing I've got my scorebook right here to know when something's wrong. Checking the camera again. Okay. So you never know what can happen when I never know what can happen when I'm streaming live. Gullickson will finish his warm-up tosses as Alan Ashby steps into the batter's box for the Astros. 280 average, 8 home runs, 25 RBIs, and 85. Gullickson will look in at Fitzgerald for the sign. Fans at the Astrodome do not like what they see. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 672, which will turn into a 682. And that'll be a base hit for Ashby. He will get on to lead off the second. Expos infield will go to double play depth as Jerry Mumphrey will now be the batter. 277 average, 8 home runs, 61 RBIs, and 85. Ashby, not a threat to steal. He will hold. Mumphrey, not a good bunter. He will swing away. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 612. That'll turn into a 622 and get popped up on the infield. Getting under that at second base for the Expos is going to be Law. He will call everybody off in the infield grass, make the catch. 1 out in the inning. Craig Reynolds, now the batter for the Astros. 272 average, 4 home runs, 32 RBIs, and 85. Ashby, still not a threat to steal. He will hold. Reynolds, do they lay down the bunt here? Not yet. I think Reynolds will swing away. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 279. And a 279 against the lefty is going to be a 539. That sounds like a problem. 539, first base is Shines. And Shines is going to boot that one. He'll misplay it badly. And Reynolds will be safe at first on the E3. Ashby will go to second. Bad time to be making errors if you're a Montreal fan. Infield remains at double play depth. And Harry Spillman steps into the batter's box. 136 average, 1 home run, 4 RBI, and 85. Gullickson looking into Fitzgerald for the sign. Fans at the Astrodome starting to come alive. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 281, and against a lefty, 281 is going to be a 531, and that'll be a 531 going over to Shines. That'll be a ground ball right to Shines. He will take that, throw that over to Brooks at second. That'll get Reynolds. Brooks will make the throw back to Shines. It'll be in plenty of time. That'll be the 3-6-3 inning-ending double play. And the Astros get nothing out of it after a leadoff single. We are tied at 1 here at the Astrodome after 2. Stadium groans. Ugh. Checking my hand. That gives me plenty of time for a game or 2. At least 2 is my plan today. Do I have any more seasons of Inside Pitch, or did I get rid of all of them already? I still have quite a few seasons of Inside Pitch that I haven't figured out how I'm getting rid of yet. I'd have to go down to the laundry room and look. And actually, that reminds me, I am running laundry today. I do have a little bit of time before that is going to pop up here. And I just saw you sent me an email, so let me take a look at that as well real quick. Okay. Thanks for the information there. So most of the seasons I still have are PDFs that I printed out and cut out myself. I think the only one I might have bought from Inside Sports was 2011. But like I said, when I go down and check laundry later, I will look for that. Coming back to the top of the third now brings us to the bottom of the Expos order. Speaking of Razor Shines, he is up to start the inning. 120 average, no home runs, and 3 RBIs in 85. I don't know how he made this lineup, but he's probably going to go until about the 6th inning before the Expos make a switch. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 427 against a righty. 427 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Grabbing that is Duran. He will take his time, throw that over to first. 1 out in the inning. Bill Gullickson, now the batter for the Expos. Of course, no individual pitcher batting stats on the pitcher batting cards. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 636, and that'll be a fly ball into center field. Bass coming in for that one. He'll make the catch on the run. 2 outs in the inning. Winningham, now the batter. Winningham's 0 for 1. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 496. And a 496 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Once again, Bass coming in for that one again. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Expos here in the top of the third. Still tied at 1, getting set for the bottom of the third. Okay, camera's still good. And I think we can get through this half of the third inning before I have to go check my laundry. So Gullickson will finish up his warm-up tosses as Mike Scott will now come to the plate for his first turn at the plate. Bottom of the third inning, we are tied at 1 in Game 2 of the NLCS. Montreal hoping to end this game with the series at that same score. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 581. That's into center field. Winningham going after that one, and that'll be a routine fly ball. Winningham will come in slightly for that one. He will make the catch, and that'll be out number 1. Here's Walling with 1 out. Walling has the solo bomb. That's the Astros' only scoring so far. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 519, and a 519 is going to be a base hit for Walling into center field. He is not going to try to extend that into a double, though. Walling will be safe at first with a single. Expos infield will go to double play depth. Batter now is Bass. Bass today is 0 for 1. He flew out to center field. Walling, not a threat to steal. He will hold. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Infield, hoping for a nice double, for a big double play ball. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. We'll re-roll that. That is a 634. And that's going to get popped up on the infield in the infield grass. Brooks will call everybody off there. He will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Duran, now the batter. Duran's 0 for 1. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. That is a 627. That'll turn into a 637 and be a fly ball into center field. Winningham going back for that one for the Expos. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Astros. We are tied at 1 here at the Astrodome after 3. Okay. So I'm just seeing my timer going off here. I'm actually going to step away for a little bit so I can check my laundry. And Jester, I will look at those. I'll see what season of inside pitch I still have. I'm not going to check the quality of them yet, though, because I'm pretty sure most of them are printed, or most of them are PDFs that I've printed out. One might be a printed season that I ordered from Inside Sports. But let me go take a quick break so I can go check on laundry and look at those seasons for you. Let's see. Uh, 18. 2011. 2008 and 2009. Oh, I also have 1981 that I've never torn. What did I do with my mic? Oh. Whoops. You probably were hearing me rattle off everything there, so my apologies on that. I didn't realize. Normally when I go to take a break, I normally unclip my microphone so you guys don't hear the cursing and cussing and swearing I go through. So I'll send you this list later, Jester. But I did get that, but I do have everything ready for you. So once I'm done here, I'll get you that list. Top of the fourth coming up brings us back to this first half of the Expos order. Here's Brooks. Brooks today is 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time up. So you probably heard in the rambling, but I do still have quite a few seasons of inside pitch downstairs. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 346. And a 346 is going to get popped up on the infield. Going into foul territory for that one is going to be Spillman. He will make the catch. 1 out in the inning. And here's Rains. Rains today is 0 for 1. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the kick. And here's the pitch. That is a 664. And a 664 is going to be grounded over to first. Spillman will be over to the right, over pretty far on the bag. Scott will come over to cover the bag. 2 outs in the inning. Batter now is Law. Law today has a walk and a stolen base. Scott trying to get out of the inning with no damage. He will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 370. And that's going to be popped up on the infield once again. Again in foul territory, Spillman with it. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Expos here in the top of the fourth. Still tied at 1 as we get set for the bottom of the fourth. You didn't hear much other than mumbling. Oh, Chester, you're of course not any of that. Anyway. You probably couldn't hear over the racket in the laundry room anyway, because I still had another load of laundry that I was running in the dryer in there. Speaking of which, what does the time look like for that one? Okay, that one will probably be due to come up after this half of the inning as well. Leading off the bottom of the fourth for the Astros is Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 1. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 535. That's over to Shines at first, and that'll be grounded right to him. He will wave off Gullickson coming over to cover the bag, and that'll be out number 1. One out, and here's Ashby. Ashby is 1 for 1 with a single. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 435. I couldn't read it for a second. 435 against a righty is going to be a ground ball over to second. Law picking that one up. He will take his time with it, throw it over to first. 2 outs in the inning. Mumphrey, now the batter. Mumphrey is 0 for 1. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign once again. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 312. And Mumphrey is going to get frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros here in the bottom of the fourth. We are still scoreless we are still tied at 1 at the Astrodome after 4. We're not scoreless at the Astrodome, but the way these two pitchers are pitching, we might as well be. And I think we should still have plenty of time as we rolled through that inning pretty quickly. Yep. Top of the fifth brings us to the middle of the order as Scott finishes up his warm-up tosses. Here's Washington. Washington's 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his first time up. Scott looking in at Ashby for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 557. That's over to third base, Walling, and that'll be a base hit into left field. Washington, I'm going to take a quick look. Nope, he will hold at first base with a single. As now the Expos get the leadoff man on. Infield will go to double play depth. Batter now is Dawson. Dawson today is 1 for 1 with a single after a mishap I had. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 423 against a righty. That'll be a ground ball over to short. Reynolds will get that one. He'll throw that over to Duran at second to get Washington. Duran will throw over to Spillman. Relay is in time. That is a 6-4-3 double play. 2 outs in the inning. Stadium cheers. Yay! Bad time for the Expos to hit into a double play. Here's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald today also hit into a double play. That's 2 the Expos have hit into. Scott, relieved that the bases are now empty. He will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 414, and against a righty, that'll be a ground ball over to short. Getting to that one is Reynolds once again. He will make the play over to first, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Expos. We are still tied at 1 at the halfway point of this game. Both pitchers are actually pitching pretty well in this one. Gullickson finishes up his warm-up tosses, and leading off the bottom of the fifth for the Astros is Reynolds. Reynolds reached on an error by Shines. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 350, and that'll get popped up on the infield. Calling everybody off in the grass at third base this time is going to be Washington. Yes, he will make the catch for out number 1. Spillman is now the batter. Spillman today is 0 for 1. He's also hit into a double play. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. Still tied at 1 at the Astrodome. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. A 394. A 394 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Raines going back for that one. He will track it down. 2 outs in the inning. Scott, now the batter. Scott today is 0 for 1. Gullickson looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 132. And a 132 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Once again, Raines getting under that one for the Expos. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros here in the bottom of the fifth. We are still tied at 1 here at the Astrodome after 5. And you're here just sorting new games. Guild of Merchant Explorers, Mini Rogue, and Darkest Night. All good, and if you watched Mystical Munchies, you may have noticed that this was among my most recent deliveries. Looks kind of familiar, no? Anyway, as I mentioned, I do need to take a small break to go to my... Actually, let me check on the timer. I'm pretty sure I do need to, and yes, I do. Step away to get my laundry for a second. So, I will take another small break. You watched Mystical Munchies this week and didn't see it. Did I unbox it at the beginning? Sort of. So what happened was I got the delivery from Noble Knight in probably about 5 to 10 minutes before I went live. Like I was in the middle of setting up? I think I was probably in the middle of setting up. My door buzzed. I hadn't started filming yet, and it was the delivery waiting for me. So I went downstairs, got it, started into the first part of Mystical Munchies. Then once I got the steak sitting in the kitchen to come to room temperature, that's when I unboxed everything. So it was fairly early in the episode when I unboxed it. I was expecting the delivery in, but I was expecting it a little bit earlier. And odds are I probably was going to unbox it during Mystical Munchies anyway, just because there was a lot of break time in that episode, and that's when I like to do stuff like that, those delivery unboxings. Anyway, coming back to business in the top of the sixth, Shines is going to come out of the game. The Expos want to try to get a jolt going here. And coming in to pinch hit and take over at first base is going to be Andres Galarraga is going to come in to pinch hit and take over at first base. 187 average, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and 85. He probably does a little better against left-handed pitching, but the Expos could stand to get another bat in the lineup. Plus, Galarraga has been very clutch in this postseason. Scott will look in at Ashby for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 694. And a 694, well, that's pretty clutch. Galarraga gets into one. That's going to get all the way to the wall. It'll be a long time recovering. Galarraga will lead off the top of the sixth with a leadoff triple. Stadium groans. Ugh. Infield has to play in. Gullickson, now the batter. And actually, that's the first point of fatigue against Scott. Gullickson today is 0 for 1. Galarraga is not going on contact. Let's see, 2. Let me just check arms here. 2, 3. 3-0. Yeah, Galarraga is not going on contact. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. 5:46. That's over to second base. That's Duran. And Gullickson is going to help out his own cause. That'll be a base hit into right field, and the Expos will take the lead. Wow. Gullickson will go to first. Galarraga will score. 2-1 Expos. Second point of fatigue on Scott. Stadium barfs. Bleh. Infield will go to double play depth. Batter now is Winningham. Winningham is 0 for 2. Astros fans do not like what they just saw there. Can you blame them? Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 424. And against a righty, a 424, they're going to like this even less because Winningham is going to get this out with a boom! High, deep, gone! Home run, Herm Winningham. Expos extend their first lead they've had today. Four to one Expos. Stadium barfs. Stadium double barfs. Blah, blah. And here's Brooks. Brooks today is 0 for 2. We're going to get some activity in the Astros bullpen as I just need to decide who is coming in to pitch, who's starting to get loose for the Astros. Going to check the hand there. Okay. Wow. The Expos are starting to blow this one open a little bit here. The Astros are going to get... Switch righty switch. The Astros are going to get Charlie Kerfeld warming up. Wow. Well, that was an inning that happened for the Expos. And we still have nobody out in the inning. Kerfeld starting to throw for the Astros. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. A 253 against a righty at 253. Uh-oh. Brooks is into one. That is deep to center field. Bass going back for that one. Brooks has a power of a 6. Do the Expos go back to back? The Expos won't go back to back, but that will drop in center field and get to the wall behind Bass, and Brooks will be safe at second with a stand-up double. Stadium barfs. Bleh. Still nobody out. Batter now is Raines. Raines today is 0 for 2. Astros have a disaster on their hands here. Kerfeld getting loose. He's probably not too much longer for coming in. Scott will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. Now he will pitch. That is a 694. And a 694. Raines is going to get into one. That'll get all the way to the wall. Raines will be safe at third with a stand-up triple. Brooks will come in to score. Raines will go to third. 5-1 Expos. Stadium barfs. Bleh. Batter now is Law. Law today is 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base, and that is going to be it for Scott. He is going to come out of the game. The Astros need to go to the bullpen here. They thought Scott would settle it down, except he missed the memo of, he's not settling down today. This looks like the kind of game the Expos needed. Coming in to pitch for the Astros. Got the Expos on the brain. Coming in to pitch for the Astros and try to stop this bleeding is going to be Charlie Kerfeld. 4-2 with a 4.06 ERA. 44 and a third innings pitched. 30 strikeouts, 25 walks, 2 home runs in 85. The infield has to play in. And Raines is going on contact. The Expos have a man on third again, and they want more. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 331. And Law's going to swing through a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 1. That is a gigantic strikeout for the Astros right now. Infield is still in. Batter now is Washington. Washington is 1 for 2 with a single. Astros trying to keep this game where it is. Expos want more. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 533. Throw, actually, Raines was going on contact. That'll be over to Spillman, and that'll be a ground ball over to him, but he's got to try to beat Raines to the plate. Raines has got a speed of 8 against Spillman's arm of a 0. Can Raines get to the plate? The throw isn't even going to be close. The throw will go to the plate from Spillman. Raines will easily score as he'll beat that one out. And that'll let Washington get to first on a single. 6-1 Expos. Stadium groans. Ugh. Astros will go back to double play depth, and the batter now is Dawson. Dawson is 1 for 2, but he has hit into a double play. Kerfeld trying to stop the bleeding here, and he's doing a pretty terrible job of it, to be perfectly honest. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. Astros fans don't like what they see. Kerfeld will set, and he will pitch. That is a 526. That's Ashby, and a 526. That is going to be a passed ball, and Washington, that'll get to the backstop. Washington will go to second. Kerfeld looking at Ashby like, come on, man, what are you doing here? We've got enough problems. The Astros are going to get some activity in the bullpen. Not yet. They need to get some innings out of Kerfeld. So we will, and actually a passed ball makes it ball 1. We will pitch again. This time we're looking at a 317, and Dawson swings through a changeup, trying to do too much with it. Strike 3. That is out number 2. Two outs, and the batter now is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald today is 0 for 2. Kerfeld trying to stop this disaster brewing. He will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 428, and against a righty, a 428 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Reynolds will get that one. He will take his time, throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. But the Expos take the lead. 5 runs on 5 hits, a passed ball, and a cycle. An inning cycle for the Expos. We had a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. And that's good enough for the Expos to take a 6-1 lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. Checking on the camera again. Okay. And I need to fix an issue in Digital Diamond, as Digital Diamond's yelling at me, probably because the Expos need a first baseman. But once it decides to cooperate, Galarraga is taking over at first base, as I mentioned. That'll be it for Shines today. Gullickson will finish up his warm-up tosses. As stepping into the batter's box, we've got the top of the order. Here's Walling. Walling today is 2 for 2. He's got a single and the home run. That's the Astros' only run so far. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Fans at the Astrodome do not like what they see. Gullickson will set, and he will pitch. That is a 146, and a 146 is going to be a leadoff walk. Walling will get to first, as Gullickson loses control of a slider. That'll be the first point of pitcher fatigue on Gullickson. Batter now is Bass. Bass today is 0 for 2. The Expos are going to go to double play depth, and they're going to get some activity in the bullpen. I just need to look and see who they're going to get warming up. Let's see. The Expos are going to get... Let's see. Switch, lefty, switch. The Expos are going to get... They're going to get David Palmer warming up. He will start getting loose for the Expos. And we will turn our attention back to where Bass is waiting at the plate after a leadoff walk to Walling. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Come on. My blue D10 didn't want to roll for me. Gullickson will set. He will kick. And he will pitch. That is a 381. And a 381 against a righty is going to be a ground ball over to third. Grabbing that for the Expos is going to be Washington. He will throw that over to Law. That'll get Walling. Law will then throw that over to Galarraga. Throw is in time. That is a 5-4-3 double play as the Expos go around the horn to stop that bit of trouble. 2 outs in the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. Expos fans cheer. Yay! Here's Duran. Duran is 0 for 2. There are 2 outs in the inning. I was just coming over to update that. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 484 against a righty. 484 is going to be a base hit for Duran. He will get on to extend the inning for the Astros. Second point of fatigue against Gullickson. Batter now is Cruz. Cruz today is 0 for 2. Pitcher spot is due up second. Gullickson's going to try to finish the inning. Gullickson will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 347, and that's going to be a slow roller, and that'll be a base hit for Cruz. And everybody moves up. Batter now is Ashby. Ashby is 1 for 2 with a single. That is going to be it for Gullickson. He will not... The Expos are going to go to the bullpen here. A little bit earlier than they wanted to, but they're going to. Coming in to pitch for the Expos, once Digital Diamond decides to cooperate with me, is going to be David Palmer. 7-10 with a 3.71 ERA, 135 2/3 innings pitched, 106 strikeouts, 67 walks, 5 home runs in 85. He will be the pitcher trying to stop Ashby. Palmer will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Fans at the Astrodome suddenly loud. Palmer will set, and he will pitch. That'll be a 328. And Ashby gets frozen by a slider for strike 3. That will retire the side. Stadium groans. Ugh. 2 hits and a walk for the Astros, but they get nothing out of that as Montreal takes a 6-1 lead after 6. Talk about a dramatic turnaround for the Expos. Okay, just checking on the hand. Top of the 7th coming up for the Expos, and the leadoff man is Galarraga. He came in to pinch hit and proceeded to get a triple that helped spark the Expos' 5-run 6th and give the Expos the lead. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. Fans at the Astrodome are not happy with what they see. They see their Astros trailing the Expos 6-1. Kerfeld will set, and he will pitch. That's cocked. I'll re-roll that. That's a 144. And that's going to be a base hit for Galarraga. He will reach with the leadoff single. Infield will go to double play depth, and the batter now is Palmer. Is David Palmer. The infield is going to bring the corners in, expecting Palmer to bunt, and he will show the bunt sign. As they'd love to get more runs, they'd love to get another runner over. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, he will pitch, and Palmer lays down the bunt. Let's see. He's a bunt of 6, 12, and 7 is 19. And that'll be a good sacrifice over to third base. Getting to that one is going to be Walling. Galarraga too far over to second. He will make it. Not Gullickson. Third base. Walling will take the sure out at first for 1 out in the inning. Brain froze on who was the third baseman for the Astros. Here's Winningham. Winningham is 1 for 3, but that 1 was a 2-run bomb. Kerfeld gets the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. A 138. That'll turn into a 338, and Winningham will get frozen by a slider for strike 3, out number 2. Two outs, and the batter now is Brooks. Brooks is 1 for 3 with a double. Galarraga waits at third with another run for the Expos. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 680. That does not sound good. That'll be a base hit for Brooks, and the Expos will extend their lead as that'll get into the gap. Galarraga will come in. He will score. Galarraga will score. Brooks will go to first. 7-1 Expos. Stadium groans. Ugh. And here's Raines. Raines today is 1 for 3, but that 1 was a triple. 7-1 Expos now, top of the 7th. Kerfeld will get the sign. Let me just make sure we're not at fatigue yet. Let's see, he came in with 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. Okay, so that should have been 1 out. I got confused there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he's not at fatigue yet. He came in with nobody out in the middle of that 6th inning meltdown. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 2-12. Against a switch left, that'll turn into a 4-12. And against a righty, Raines will trot to first with a 2-out walk. The Expos are trying to get as much as they can out of this inning. Batter now is Law. Law is 0 for 2 with a walk, and he's stolen a base tonight. Kerfeld looking at Ashby for the sign. He will set, he will kick, and he will pitch. That is a 538. That's over to first base. Spillman with it. 538. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Brooks will hold at third. And the bases are full of Expos with 2 outs. Batter now is Washington. Washington today is 2 for 3. He's got 2 singles. Astros know they can't afford to let this get any worse. Kerfeld will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 382. And a 382 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Duran will pick that one up. He'll throw that over to Reynolds. That'll get Law and retire the side. But the Expos extend their lead with 1 run on 3 hits and a walk. The Expos now have a 7-1 lead heading into the 7th inning stretch. Singh, take me out to the ball game. I will take a small break. Game 3 of this series will be tomorrow night, assuming nothing goes crazy with my day today. As for the next time we get together, that will probably be later tonight. I'm going to take a bit of a dinner break so I can get some sustenance in my system. But when we come back, we will be at Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California for Game 2 of the American League Championship Series, as the California Angels currently lead the Detroit Tigers by 1-0 in that series. Dan Petrie will be going for the Tigers, and Ron Romanek will be going for the Angels. That'll be Game 2 later tonight. Bottom of the 7th coming up, and we're looking at the second half of the Astros order. Here is Mumphrey. Mumphrey today is 0 for 2. And I will see you guys in chat at the top of the 8th. Palmer will look in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 422 against a righty, and a 422 is going to get popped up on the infield. Going into foul territory for that one's going to be Washington. He will make the catch, and that is out number 1. Reynolds, now the batter. Reynolds is 0 for 1, but he reached on an error back in the 2nd. Palmer will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 146. And a 146 is going to be a 1-out walk for Reynolds, as Palmer loses control of a slider for ball 4. Spillman, now the batter. Spillman today is 0 for 2. The Expos will go to double play depth. I'm just checking. Okay. Palmer will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 640. That'll turn into a 650, and it'll be a ground ball over to second. Law will pick that one up. He'll throw that to Brooks. That'll get Reynolds. Brooks will try to make the relay to Galarraga, but that one won't be in time. It'll be a fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning. And the batter now, they need to get some, the Astros, we're going to get some activity in the Astros bullpen. I didn't realize Kerfeld was that close to fatigue. Let's see, who do the Astros have coming up, or the Expos have coming up? Dawson, Fitzgerald, Galarraga, righties all around. The Astros are going to get Mike Madden warming up in the bullpen. Kerfeld is going to come out of the game. The Astros are going to go to the bench. I just need to decide who the Astros are going to go to pinch hit here in the bottom of the 7th. Let's see. They need somebody who handles righties well and has decent power. The Astros are going to turn to Phil Garner here in the bottom of the 7th. 268 average, 6 home runs, 51 RBIs, and 85. He will be the batter for the Astros, trying to salvage this disaster of a game. Palmer will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 495, and a 495 against a righty is going to be a fly ball into center field. Winning him will get under that one for the Expos. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the walk for the Astros. The Expos holding on to a 7-1 lead after 7. Astros need a pitcher. Some Astros going to the bullpen is a very, very terrifying part of the English language for them right now. Coming in to pitch for the Astros is going to be Mike Madden. No wins, no losses, 4.26 ERA. 19 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, 11 walks, and 1 homer in 85. The Expos are going to get some activity in their bullpen as well as getting loose for the Expos. Top of the orders, lefty switch. Gary Lucas is going to start warming up for the Expos. Just got to keep my line score updated. Leading off for the Expos in the top of the 8th is Dawson. Dawson today is 1 for 3. He's got a single and an RBI. Madden looking at a 7-1 lead and an Astrodome that's starting to slowly empty. Madden, starting to think about emptying. Madden will get the sign from Ashby. He will set and he will pitch. That is a 664, and that'll be grounded over to first. Spillman will pick that one up. Madden will come over to cover. He'll take the throw, 1 out in the inning. Fitzgerald, now the batter. Fitzgerald is 0 for 3. Madden looking in at Ashby for the sign. He will set, he will wind up, and he will pitch. That is a 463 against a lefty, and that'll be a ground ball over to third. Grabbing that one is going to be Walling. He will take his time, throw that over to first. 2 outs in the inning. Batter now is Galarraga. Galarraga is 1 for 1 with the single. He led off the 7th with that single. Madden looking in at Ashby for the sign. He will set, he will wind up, and he will pitch. That is a 491, and a 491 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Bass getting under that one for the Astros. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Expos here in the top of the 8th. Montreal holding on to a 7-1 lead heading into the bottom of the 8th. Game of Merchants and Explorers is set up and ready to go after I'm done. All good. I will make sure I stop by for that then. Bottom of the 8th coming up for the Astros. And leading off will be the top. Actually, before we do that, Expos need a pitcher. Palmer is going to come out of the game. The Expos are going to go to the bullpen. Coming in to pitch for the Expos will be Gary Lucas. 6-2 with a 3.19 ERA. 67 2/3 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, 24 walks, 6 home runs, and 85. He's also got a save, but this is hardly a save situation. Walling, now the batter. Walling is 2 for 2 with a single, a home run, and a walk. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That will be a 293. And against a lefty, 293. Walling's into one. That's deep to right field. Walling's got a power of a 6. Does he cut this Expos lead down to 5? That won't get out of here, but that will get down behind Dawson, and Walling will be safe at second base on the leadoff double. Walling safe at second on a leadoff double. Bass, now the batter. Bass today is 0 for 3. Lucas trying to keep this game right where it is. He will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 127, And a 127 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Winning him will get under that one for the Expos. He will make the catch, out number 1. Bass has been very quiet with the bat in his hand this whole postseason. 1 out in the inning, and the batter now is Doran. Doran tonight is 1 for 3 with a single. Lucas looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. That is a 134, and once again, that'll be a fly ball into center field. Winning him going back for this one. Not quite as far as the one for Bass, but he will have the same result, as that'll land in his glove for out number 2. Batter now is Cruz. Cruz is 1 for 3 with a single today. Lucas getting the sign from Fitzgerald once again. He will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. That is a 106. That'll turn into a 306, and Cruz gets frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That will retire the side. After the leadoff double, 1, 2, 3 go the Astros here in the bottom of the 8th. Expos have a 7-1 lead after 8. Okay, everything looks good there. Madden will come out to start the 9th, but the Astros are going to get some activity in the bullpen. Lefty-righty. The Astros are going to get, and then it switches after that. The Astros are going to get Frank DiPino warming up. The Expos are also going to get some activity in their bullpen, as Lucas has a stamina of 1. The Expos are going to turn to, let's see, Ashby, Mumphrey, switch, lefty. The Expos are going to get Tim Burke warming up in the bullpen. Lucas is going to come out of the game. The Expos are going to go to the bench once again. And coming in to pinch hit for the Expos, let's see, somebody who handles lefties well. Let's see, coming in to pinch hit is going to be I'm just noting it in my scorebook here. Coming in to pinch hit for the Expos is going to be Fred Manrique. 308 average, 1 home run, 1 RBI, and 85. Burke continuing to throw in the bullpen. Madden will get the sign from Ashby. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 377, and that'll be a ground ball over to third. Grabbing that one is going to be Walling. He will take his time, throw that over to first. 1 out in the inning. One out, and the batter now is Winningham. Winningham is 1 for 4, but that one was a home run. Madden will get the sign, a 2-run homer. Madden will get the sign from Ashby. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 253, and against a lefty at 253, Winningham is going to swing through a changeup for strike 3, out number 2. Two outs, and the batter now is Brooks. Brooks today is 2 for 4 with a single and a double. Madden looking into Ashby for the sign. He will set, he will kick, and here's the pitch. That is a 588. Uh-oh, that's over to Bass, and that'll drop in front of Bass for a base hit into center field. Astros fans do not like what they see here. That'll also be the first point of pitcher fatigue against Madden. Batter now is Raines. Rains today is 1 for 3 with a walk and a triple. Madden trying to get out of this inning so the Astros have something resembling hope for ninth inning magic. Madden will get the sign from Ashby, and he will pitch. That is a 309. And Rains is going to swing through the high heat for strike 3. That will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Expos. Score is now 7-1 Montreal, heading into the bottom of the ninth. But will we see some ninth inning magic? Expos need a pitcher. Coming in to pitch for the Expos, once Digital Diamond catches up with me, is going to be Tim Burke. 9-4 with a 2.39 ERA, 120 and a third innings pitched, 87 strikeouts, 44 walks, 9 home runs, and 85. He will have the bottom of the middle of the Astros order to deal with. Here's Ashby. Ashby is 1 for 3 with a single today. Expos are 3 outs away from tying this series. Astros hoping to keep this going. Burke will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 384. And a 384 is going to be a leadoff single for Ashby. He'll have a single to lead off the inning. Infield will go to double play depth for the Expos, and the batter now is Mumphrey. Mumphrey today is 0 for 3. Burke looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set, he will kick, and he will pitch. That is a 535. That's over to first base, where Galarraga is waiting for that one. That'll be a ground ball right at him. He'll wave off Burke coming over, take that to the bag himself. 1 out in the inning. Ashby will go to second. One out in the inning, and the batter now is Reynolds. Reynolds today is 0 for 1 with a walk, and he reached on an error. Fans at the Astrodome are loud, hoping Reynolds can keep this going. Burke will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 260, and against a lefty at 260, Reynolds is going to get frozen by a slider for strike 3. That is out number 2. And the last chance for the Astros comes to Harry Spillman. Spillman today is 0 for 3. Expos 1 out away from tying this series. Burke will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 224 against a lefty. 224 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Law picking that one up. He'll take his time. Pumps once, pumps twice, throws to first. That's your game. The Montreal Expos tie this National League Championship Series with the Astros by a final score of 7-1. Stadium groans. Ugh. Final line score coming up. That will make it official. We are tied. This NLCS for 1985 is tied at 1. For the Expos, 7 runs on 12 hits and 1 error. For the Astros, 1 run on 7 hits and no errors. Winning pitcher in this one is going to be Bill Gullickson. He will pick up the win. Mike Scott will take the loss. And that will do it for Game 2 of the NLCS. Later tonight, we will have Game 2 of the ALCS, as the Detroit Tigers are in Anaheim to play the California Angels. Dan Petrie will be going for the Tigers, and Ron Romanek will be going for the Angels. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The Montreal Expos, even this NLCS with the Astros, in convincing fashion by a final score of 7-1. And hopefully, if you guys are still here, let's go check out Jester as he's playing Guild of Merchant Explorers. Once again, take care, and we will see you guys back here later this afternoon.